Unit 9. B. Lure of the Lost City. A. On February 18, 2015, a helicopter carrying a team of explorers headed toward the mountains of La Mosquitia, a remote area of Honduras. Below, farms gradually gave way to steep slopes, some covered with unbroken rainforest. The pilot headed for a V-shaped gap in a distant ridge. Beyond it lay a valley surrounded by mountains, a landscape of emerald and gold. There were no signs of human life, not a road, a trail, or a column of smoke. The pilot descended, aiming for a clearing along a riverbank. B. The team had come to explore a region long thought to contain Ciudad Blanca, a city built of white stone known as the Lost City of the Monkey God. One of the team members was an archaeologist named Chris Fisher. Fisher didn't believe in the legend, but he did believe that the valley, known simply as T1, contained a secret. In fact, somewhere in this valley, he believed, were the ruins of a real lost city, abandoned for at least half a millennium. C. The White City of Honduras. The Mosquitia region of Honduras and Nicaragua contains vast areas of dense vegetation, swamps and rivers. It also hides a number of dangers: deadly snakes, hungry jaguars, and insects carrying potentially deadly diseases. D. Over time, the myth of La Mosquitia's White City became part of the Honduran national consciousness. By the 1930s, it had also captured the imagination of the American public. Several expeditions were launched to find it, including 3 by the Museum of the American Indian in New York City. The first 2 came back with rumors of a lost city containing a giant statue of a monkey god. E. The museum's 3rd expedition, a group led by a journalist named Theodore Maud, landed in Honduras in early 1940. Maud emerged from the jungle 5 months later with boxes of artifacts, claiming he had found evidence of an ancient walled city. He would not reveal the location for fear of looting, but promised to return the following year. He never did. He died in 1954. The city, if there was one, remained unidentified. F. In the 1990s, a documentary filmmaker named Steve Elkins became fascinated by the legend of the White City. He spent years studying reports from explorers, archaeologists, and geologists. He then studied satellite photographs of 3 valleys, which he labeled T1, T2, and T3. T stands for target. The images, however, were inconclusive, and he realized he needed a better way to see through the dense jungle canopy. 3. G. Then in 2010, Elkins learned of a new technology called LiDAR, light detection and ranging, a way to explore the valleys from aircraft flying above the jungle. LiDAR works by bouncing hundreds of thousands of pulses, 4 of infrared laser beams off the ground below. Scanning the 3 valleys cost $250,000, but the initial results were astonishing. In an attempt to investigate the myth of the White City, Elkins had apparently uncovered 2 real ancient cities in valleys T1 and T3. To help interpret the data, he turned to Chris Fisher, a specialist on Mesoamerica. Hey! Discoveries in the jungle. This is how, in February 2015, Fisher and his team came to be in the dense jungle of La Mosquitia. Besides Fisher, who had extensive experience with LiDAR imagery, the team included 2 other archaeologists, a group of scientists, and Elkins's camera crew. The team set out from base camp, cutting a trail through the jungle with machetes. They faced plenty of challenges: snakes, insects, mud, and constant rain. Although the area was remote, they were not alone. Animals wandered around them or gathered in the trees above, seemingly unafraid. "I've never seen anything like it," one team member noted. "I don't think these animals have ever seen human beings." J. After climbing above the floodplain, they arrived at the base of a steep, jungle-covered highland, the edge of the presumed city. "Let's go to the top," Fisher said, Holding on to vines and tree roots, the explorers continued up the muddy slope. At the summit, Fisher pointed out the outline of a building. There was evidence of construction, probably an earthen pyramid. The team later identified one of the city's plazas, or large public spaces, an area of rainforest as level as a soccer field. Straight-edged mounds on three sides revealed the remains of walls and buildings. By the following afternoon, the group had mapped 3 more plazas and many mounds, but it appeared that the river was rising, so they prepared to leave. Suddenly, one of the cameramen called out, "Hey, there are some weird stones over here." Large. At the base of the pyramid, the team found the tops of dozens of beautifully carved stone sculptures, the head of a jaguar, large jars carved with snakes, and objects that looked like seats or tables. All the artifacts were in perfect condition, apparently untouched since they had been left centuries before. There were 52 objects above ground, and probably many more below the surface. In the days that followed, the team recorded each object using a 3D scanner. Nothing was touched, nothing removed. Further expeditions to the area are now being planned with the support of the Honduran government. There is still much to learn about the former inhabitants of La Mosquitia. Whether or not the White City is real or myth, the search for it has led to riches.